Hello, statistics student. In this video, I'm going to show you how to graph histogram using Statdisk. I will copy some data from either Excel or any source into Statdisk, and then I'll run histogram graphing, and I'll show you how to change the number of classes and also the number of the class width of the histogram. Okay, so first of all, I need to copy my data from Excel into Statdisk. But to make it a little bit more complicated, I assume that my data now is in a Word document with numbers separated, the numbers being separated by commas and space. So a lot of times, sometimes we have data this way, like when you're doing homeworks, your data are not in the Excel file, but actually something like that. So what you do is you copy them by Control C, I guess, and then you open Excel. Because if you do that, so let's see, can you just get it into Statdisk? Okay, so see, if you want to paste it here, Control V, it would not work because it would not be in a column. It would just be like that. So delete this. So you have to change it into a vertical column in Excel first. Now, Statdisk does not allow that changing of data. So unless you want to enter them one by one. So what I'll do would be I'll paste the data in Excel. I want to label this second set of data data 2. So what I'll do is I'll do a Control V here, but you'll see that it's still the same as what we have before. No, it still doesn't work, right? So this is the only way we have, just like what we have in Statdisk. But because this is Excel, it allows us to do something called text to column. So I can change this into these numbers into individual columns. So what I'll do is I'll select this particular cell where I paste it in, and then I say data, text to column under data tools, text to column. And then I will say, tell Excel that these numbers are separated by commas and tab we call delimited. And then I say next. What are the delimitators? So they are space and comma. So that's what we have initially, right? So sometimes you have semicolon, then you click, you check semicolon. But for us, they are all separated by comma and a space. So I just check this, and then it seems to separate them into column. And I say next, finish. That's what I want. So you can see that the data are each separated into individual columns, but that's not what I want. I want them into a vertical column. So what I'll do is I'll copy again, and then I'm going to paste it here. So when you paste it, so right click, do not use Control V now. So because you want to do the paste option. So look at this. One of the options that we want is transpose. So when it transpose, that means it would change it from vertical column into a row or row into vertical. So if I do transpose, the horizontal column now become a vertical column. So now I'm going to delete this. So I have all my data, all nice and clean in one column. I copy it, and I'm going to paste into Statdisk. So here I need to do Control V though. Control V. So I have all the data paste in. How many do I have? 19. Let's double check. 20 from 2 to 20 is 19. So that we are okay. So once I have pasted in, I need to make sure that I recognize it, edit the title. It is in data 2. The second column, and I call it data 2 save. So data is the old one that we just did for finding mean. Data 2 is the new one that I want to use for doing histogram. So I don't want to evaluate what those mean anymore. So I'll do data histogram because that's what I want to do, histogram. Okay, and then I say my data column is data 2. You can do whatever title that you have. Histogram of data 2, X value is oh, maybe what it is, it is grays, whatever that in points, or it is like times and minutes. Y is always frequency. Now, what we can do is we can just auto fit it. That means just do the default and see what happens. And we can also choose whether we want to count frequency or relative frequency, which is a percentage. And then I do plot. So remember, this is the default class that the Statdisk choose for me. Okay, if you hover over the bar, you will see that it's 10 to 19 had 5 counts, 20 to 29, 3 counts, 3 frequency is 3. So you have these all set up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 bars, which is pretty good. But maybe I want to change it to 5 bars or more, 7 bars. And I want to start at what? Our lowest number is, I really don't know what my lowest number is. Should I look at it? I can look at the sample editor. 15 is it? So see the lowest number is 15. So long as it is, let's say I start from 10 then, and I want 7. The class width is 7. Class width means instead of 10, I want 7. Or actually, I can do 5 and see what happens. That means instead of 10 to 20, I would have 10 to 15 like that. Okay, plot. So it'll be more granular, right? So I can change it to 7. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8 classes. So you can control by define what your class width is. Class width is how much is from one class to the other. So from this class is 10 to 16, the other is 17. So between 10 and 17, it is 7 class width. Class start is the lowest class limit. Okay, so if you do plot, it would graph the histogram. You can always go back to AutoFit and plot it. It would be whatever that the system picked for you. So I think this is good enough. You can now actually say 10, 10. It would be whatever that the system picked for you. So AutoFit is the default. User defined is whatever that you pick where the class start and what the class width is. And that's the histogram. When you copy down to a piece of paper, remember these gaps here should disappear. So there should be no gaps in between for histogram. Okay, so that's how you graph a histogram using Statdisk. Okay. And to copy this digitally, you can do a screen print. Okay, for me, I use snipping tool. And then new, to cut and paste. So that's one way. So you can save it, or you can do this is download as a PNG file also.